I don't know. I got the pass.
The Dewar match of the round is Moorabbin hosting the unbeaten Melbourne Unicorns. Just kicked off. Moorabbin first use of the ball. That's Noah. Good round.
In the front field, McGregor.
And Housen.
You're 10.
Good drive there from Moorabbin moving forward. But the ball's been stolen by Fred Austin. Turnover there, Melbourne Unicorns with the ball. Hudson. All the way out to Luisi. And Luis has been tackled out on the touchline. On this near side, that's going to be a throw-in to Moorabbin. As always, the Dewar match of the round brought to you by Newsman's Huddle. And we welcome myself, Kieran Beatty Blake, and Stan Giles to bring you this Dewar match of the round. Afternoon, Stan.
Afternoon, Beatty, and Melbourne going into the attack. Perfect conditions here.
This time, Moorabbin intercept the ball, and that is big. Solomona Maeva. Tele Fatau, actually, who's gone in for the try. So after just a couple of minutes of play, Melbourne opened the scoring with an opportune intercept try by the big fella, Fatau. And that is Melbourne 5, Moorabbin 0.
Very risky that close to the line from Moorabbin. Spray a long leaping pass. Hung in the air. Very close to quick off the mark. Ran very simple. Put it down.
Yeah, it was quite innocuous, and as the pass went out, it just popped into the big fella's hands, and he was over untouched. So this is the Jack McGregor going to kick the goal. And that is gone. We had a good angle here, but the ball kept pushing away. But the rules are so through, so McGregor opens his account with the ball, and that takes the score up to 7-0. Well, a few changes. Obviously, I just mentioned Jack McGregor coming into the side. Tommy Aladuminoka is so the restart. This is Will on.
Clean there by the Moorabbin back row. So, and that is driven in, but the ball is not coming out, and referee Horton judges that. That is going to be an attacking scrum to Moorabbin. Good defence there. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. We're at Harold Caterson Reserve. Moorabbin Rams taking on the Melbourne Unicorns. It is the Huddle Dewar Shield match of the round. And if you just joined us, you have missed an early try from Melbourne. Teleafa Fatau, intercept try from the big boy. Open the scoring after just a couple of minutes. So Moorabbin attacking scrum, that is gone down in the front row. Reset.
Now Moorabbin have got a very physical forward pack. It was a very physical, hard game last week they had against Melbourne Uni to scrape home. We'll just see what happens here. Of course, last week Melbourne scrummaging in the last period of play enabled them to topple Harlequins. So it's going to be a very interesting set play between both the packs this afternoon.
So fullback McFarlane for Moorabbin is lined up very straight. That's a big drive from Melbourne. The ball's popped out there. There's Johnny Hunt. McFarlane's got the ball. He's going to spin. He's got the gap. Great tackle there from Wilden Ollie. Ball's been spilled loose. Melbourne do have the ball. Fagasoya. And that has been knocked forward in the tackle. No, not forward. We're going back to the first one. So it is going to be a scrum to Melbourne. Another change for Moorabbin as well, with the elevation of Taylor Adams to the Melbourne Rebels squad. Barry Trudeau is coming to play fly half for Moorabbin, and it's good to see Taylor Adams as well as another Moorabbin lad. Pone Famusili also made his Melbourne Rebels debut last night, so both Moorabbin lads elevated to their contracted actually playing spots for the Rebels, so that's fantastic for local rugby.
And of course Jack McGregor and Henry Hutchison, both contracted to the Rebels, are in the Melbourne side, so they've been somewhat strengthened by the addition of the two Rebels players, whereas Moorabbin are having to call on their reserves to fill the gaps.
All right, so we've got a defensive scrum for Melbourne, halfway between the 10-metre line and the 22. Luisi is very interested. He has come off his left wing here to stand right behind the scrum, so there could be a move on for Melbourne here. Can't miss William Luisi. He's got those bright orange boots, but they're going to go open. Very gone wide, very early. This is Nairavu. Nairavu is tackled. Ball's popped out, but it's gone over the sideline. It's going to be a line out on that far side. Moorabbin do have a slight breeze behind them going forward, so you can probably see that in the touch judge's flag. It's not much of a breeze, but it's enough. That ball is not in straight, but there's been interference in the line out, and Moorabbin will get a free kick. It's taken quickly by Andrew Barber. Barber's gone forward 10 metres. Hunt. Ball is forward in the back line. This is Trudeau. Quickly spin out. Pinar. Oh, he's popped it out to Chang. Chang's got inside. Tackled, presented. This is Paternotte. Paternotte, he's keep going. Only a couple of metres out. Out to the back line. Trudeau. Trudeau's still standing up, still got the ball. Moorabbin forward's a bit slow to get there. Hunt. Head whistle. Out to Baliasuva, and in the end of the corner. Yes, he is. That's Heiner McFarlane. It's gone in to the corner. What a fantastic play. Moorabbin very, very patient, multiple phases. And they get in to the corner. McFarlane gets his first try for Moorabbin Rams.
And that try came about for Pinar. He drew the man, went through the gap, fed Chang, and then they set it up nicely. It was a very patient try, and well rewarded. Two sets of hands out towards the winger, who pressed it down in the corner. Melbourne were a bit slow in defence there. They didn't post up well, and Pinar saw an easy gap which opened up. So Melbourne's defence was found wanting on that occasion.
So difficult kick from the touchline to level up the scores. And he's put it on the breeze, but it's not going to have the legs. So the score remains Moorabbin 5, Melbourne 7.
Well, that's very interesting at this stage to see Moorabbin fight back as this long, high raking restart is nicely taken by Moorabbin, who's immediately using the benefit of this brief breeze, a slight breeze.
As Johnny Hunt kicks along, sort of length of the field try last week to turn the game. Oh, that's a great attempted tackle by Dane Chang. He's upended Jack McGregor. Could be a turnover here, but the ball is coming back on the Melbourne side. That's Georgie Noah. Came to drive from Moorabbin, but that is deemed illegal by Horton. Bit of feeling in this game early. It's going to be a penalty for coming in from the side. I think Michael Entwistle, the captain, Moorabbin captain, was at fault there. McGregor kicks for touch. Doesn't gain very much, but makes sure it gets over the touchline. So right on the 10-metre line, right on this broadcast side. It's going to be a Melbourne throw. Patrick Fisher-Naylor. He's been in good form this season, Fisher-Naylor. Short line out. Will be looking for Fred Austin. He's found him. Fagasoy. McGregor. There's the big try scorer, Fatau. Great tackling in there by the Moorabbin midfield. Ball's driven, pick and drive. Good yardage made. The ball, oh, there's hands in that ruck, but no, deemed legal. Very good turnover here from Moorabbin. It's well plundered. Hunt kicks long, but that's straight down the throat of Tui. Tui finds Nairavu. This is Noah. Noah finds Austin. Austin charging up the field. Still going Austin. Ball's recycled. That is being tackled out of the scrum half's hands. It's been deemed to knock forward, but legal. Hunt finds Trudeau. Trudeau kicks it ahead, and the Melbourne back row fringing around the sides, put too much pressure on McGregor, and they were all offside, so Moorabbin get a penalty.
Well, they do there, but twice now Hunt has kicked the ball downfield looking for territory, and twice it's gone into the hands of the fullback. That was quite dangerous. They ran it back very, very smartly, and the big, towering second rower took the ball nicely to the line. It's
a great kick from McGregor, but from Trudeau, sorry. Made some good yardage there. But you're right, Stan. Just looking at these Melbourne forwards, they are very, very much a lot taller than the Moorabbin boys. So Barber to throw in. Look for Howson on Concannon. Oh, it's been stolen by Fred Austin. Attack. This is Luisi. And his hands in that ruck, and Horton decides that that is being illegal. That's going to be another penalty to Melbourne.
3 penalties now against Moorabbin for indiscipline. They're going to have to watch this because they can't afford to give away penalties. And although Melbourne have a suspect line out, and I'm sure they've been working on that this week, it'll certainly give them possession with their big towering forwards.
So Fisher-Naylor looking for a call. Bit of a short line. Lot of interplay. This is Noah. It's a great grab at the front of the line. McGregor. That's Vaivai. This is Hutchison, the Rebels player. Great tackle from behind there. Ran Hutchison down. Very, very shallow line here for Melbourne. That is Ollie with the carry. They kept it narrow. Well, this is Noah. Georgie Noah. Moorabbin a charge through the ruck again. They've counter-rucked and I think they've got the ball back this time, Moorabbin. They've been doing that well. McGregor kicks long to relieve some of the pressure, and that is a great relieving kick. Moorabbin did well to turn that over, Stan.
They did very well indeed, because Noah had his ears pinned back. He was tackled, as you saw, near the line, and Moorabbin poured over it very, very quickly. They were quicker to the breakdown and reaped the benefit of that. But that's the second time now that Melbourne have broken the defence. And what I'd like to see is Moorabbin start to use rush defence, because they're just giving too much space to this Melbourne backline. And hence, their forwards are seeing the gaps, running through and offloading.
Ball's in. I'm not too sure whether it was straight, but it's play on. This is Ollie. Been very, very busy, Will Ollie, so far. Melbourne streaming through. They kept it tight around the fringes, makes good ground. And that has been held on to, possibly. No, I'm not too sure what's happened. Bit of a legal play, actually. Horton's gone to Michael Entwistle for a chat. And she's not taking any more of Moorabbin's tactics, so it's going to be a penalty to Melbourne. about 30 metres out, and they're not going to go for goal. They're going to go for touch as McGregor kicks this long, makes sure. Going to be on about the 22-metre line. Going to be an attacking throw.
A very sensible move by Melbourne to do that. They're dominating the line-outs at the moment and won 2 great throws off the top. And if they can get this off the top quickly, you'll see that Moorabbin's backs are standing flat. They're not making progress up to in the defence, the D-line. And I sense an opportunity here. Melbourne may well have a rolling maul, although they didn't really employ that last week, Beefy.
No, that's right. So that's George Noah with the great grab at the back of the line. Melbourne, all their forwards are into this rolling maul. Moorabbin trying to suck it down. They're still going, Melbourne. They get towards the line. They're only a couple of metres short. Moorabbin have broken from the side and come into the ruck from the side as Melbourne take a quick penalty and he's dived over. Kept Moorabbin on the back foot. And Melbourne score their second try of the day.
Yeah, another quick penalty, and caught the Rams napping. They were inside the 10-metre line anyway, so they would have Melbourne would have had another penalty because the Rams hadn't gone back 10 metres. But a soft try, and I'm just a bit concerned the way this game's starting to open up for Melbourne. The Rams, as I said, are flat-footed. They're not marking up, and that player ran a line straight across, diagonally across the face of the Moorabbin forward pack, even though they were walking back.
Yeah, I'm not sure Moorabbin quite know how to deal with this rolling maul either. They're at 6s and 7s, and they gave away the penalty from diving into the side. I'm pretty sure that was George Noah who got that try, as McGregor comes in and drills the conversion.
Now, last week against Harlequins, Harlequins employed the rolling maul at least 4 or 5 times to great benefit, scoring 2 tries from that play. And I can't recall Melbourne actually employing the rolling maul.
No, but they must have learned from last week.
They certainly did learn and said, well, hold on, here's something that we can employ effectively, and so it was.
So Moorabbin get this back underway. Beautredeau with a nice high short kick, and Melbourne have spilled that forward. Andrew Barber straight onto that loose ball, driven forward. There's a big turnover here. What can Moorabbin do? Hunt. Oh, and Beautredeau has looked up, looking at the oncoming defenders, and he has absolutely spilled that ball cold. So they will go back to the knock-on off the kick-off, so it will still be Moorabbin ball. It was a bit of an advantage played by Horton.
Yes, you've got to cut these basic errors out. That could have paid some dividends there. If McGregor caught that and moved it quickly, although they're a little bit sluggish through the hands, the Rams, at this stage of the match.
Absolutely.
The ball's not travelling quickly through the hands, whereas Melbourne are running onto the ball, throwing beautiful 10, 15-metre passes, and obviously want to play an expansive game.
So we're going to test the strength of the Melbourne front row. They've been pushed back so far, but they've pretty strong this time. Trudeau uses Peanut, bursts through 1, bursts through 2, still going. Peanut still on his feet. Fantastic from the Namibian. Hunt. Trudeau goes one way, goes the other. No support. This is McFarlane helping him out. McFarlane has amazingly got out of that tackle. That is unbelievable. Up to the 22, he's been held up. Moorabbin get there slowly. Hunt. Noah. This Noah. Hunt, they're going to come back to the strong side this side. Finds Barber. Oh, it's a penalty there. Delay penalty for offside. Oh, I would have liked Horton to let that go a little bit there, unless there was an infringement. But
it was an opportunity. She did play advantage, but that could have gone a little bit longer, that being a penalty rather than an infringement as a knock-on or a forward pass. But with the penalty, I should have expected that just to go a wee bit longer, that play.
So Moorabbin are going to have a kick for goal just outside the 22, directly in front, and as we said earlier, a little bit of a breeze behind. This will cut the deficit to 5. 6, I should say. 8-14. My maths is awful. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. Well, this is the Rugby Victoria Dewar Shield Match of the Round, brought to you by Huddle. As Trudeau, he's missed from in front. That's amazing. Oh.
A costly miss because the Rams need to get some points to get their tails up. Although they're still going to receive the ball from the restart here, that was an opportunity that should have been taken. It would be fairly important if they got those points. Well,
it could be a costly miss at the end of the day. It's still 4-5, but that 22 has been blocked. Valaloa has put Veroy into the clear. They're only 1 metre out. Gone blind. This is the prop forward, Noah. So they're right on Melbourne's line here. Pick and roll again. And the ball is being put down. Via lower, gets the try, reaches out across that ruck, puts the ball down, and instead of a missed penalty, it's turned into a try. So fortune favours the Braves, Dan.
It does, and that restart there by Melbourne, the kicker there was looking for distance because he had a low parallel to the ball. He didn't look for hang time, and kicking for distance, if you kick the ball low, looking for the rollover on the far side, it would have paid dividends. But it was a simple charge down, and that restart should have been in the air with hang time, so the Melbourne forwards could have got up there and contested. But that didn't come about, and the opportunity this time was taken by the Rams.
So the dropout was blocked by the Rams, and Vaialoa came up with the ball, and after the ball got spun into a couple of phases, Vaialoa ended up with the ball at the back of the ruck, and he just popped over. Unfortunately, Trudeau's conversion is not successful, so that leaves the score Moorabbin 10, Melbourne 14, and it's coming to a stage of this first half with about 10 minutes to go. "15 minutes to go, I'm told." There we go. So Melbourne, high restart. Going to be a tester. That's a great take from, I'm pretty sure that is Trudeau actually taking that. Ball's coming out wide. This is Pina. Pina's well tackled.
That was a little bit better there. They're trying to be adventurous now.
Oh, here we go. This is Chang. Chang well held by Louis C. Ball has come back. Entwistle.
There's a little bit of more urgency about the Rams now. That try has given them some confidence, but there's no support there as he takes the ball up.
That's Veroy. Andrew Barber. Big hello to Steve, who's definitely watching online in Sydney. Oh, up the guts. Nice. That's Entwistle again. Very, very busy Entwistle so far. Trudeau goes himself. Oh, he's still on his feet. No support. And he's lost the ball forward as he's put into the ground. There's a fantastic tackle. Oh, there's a bit of afters as well again. There's a bit of feeling between these two sides.
Yeah, Moorabbin are a very aggressive team. They're very physical. And they don't go into the breakdown half-heartedly.
And there's a whistle from Horton, and she's going to call out a couple of people. Are we going to play the knock-on, or we're going to have a chat? So Horton laying down the law. She's called out Sack Noah, captain for the day.
And as Beefy said, we've got viewers watching this streaming from all over the world. I know there's viewers in Cornwall in England, Gloucester, South Africa, and even Peter Cowboy Williams and his wife Janet from Sardinia.
Oh, there you go.
So we're international, and wherever you are watching this, write a comment so we just know what parts of the world.
Exactly. No, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you company. It's an absolute great game. Melbourne at top of the Dewar Shield first, and Moorabbin third. So a very, very worthy Dewar Shield match of the day. Brought to you by Huddle. Fagasoya feeds this scrum. Great drive from Melbourne. Going to go open side traditional. Henry Hutchison, the Rebels player, takes it up, takes the tackle, sets it up well. Fagasoya. That's a great run there. Fagasoya has gone to the short side. This is Fred Austin. Austin, has he got to the line? Yes, no, possibly. Not sure. No, short, scrum. Held up, apparently. Or actually a try. That is a delayed award. Must have had some advice from the touch judge. So Austin goes in for Melbourne's third try of the afternoon.
Yeah, Rachel Horton consulted Simon Gearing, the AR2 number 2, and he gave his approval that indeed the ball had been grounded. Of course, we can't see that. That's on the way far end
yes.
of the field. And for those that don't know this ground, it's shaped like a saucer. The ball rolls quickly away, particularly on the far side of the ground from where we are. And you just can't see what's happening.
Yep. That is probably the furthest point away from us here in the commentary. So, yeah, but that's Fred Austin getting up and over. Obviously thought it was a little bit short, but consultation with the AR2 suggested that he did get the ball down, and that is Melbourne's third try.
Once again, the Rams found wanting as he attempts this goal.
McGregor, that's pushed away past the face of the posts, and that makes the score Moorabbin 10, Melbourne 19. So they've nearly got a bonus point already as well. 3 tries in the first 30 minutes.
You've got to see the Rams start to post up a little bit better. Their defensive line is leaving plenty of gaps, and that Melbourne player who went the short side should not have scored that try had they been well organised.
This is the try scorer. Austin collects that restart. Fato, he has broken a tackle. He's got away, the big fella. He's already got one today. He's made 50 yards. He's not been held, so the ball could have gone anywhere. There's a knock on there from the scrum half. Fagasoya, unfortunately, there was a little hand in there from Entwistle, disrupting Fagasoya's pick-up.
Well, Fagasoya there, he had 2 men outside him and missed a superb opportunity, and this is what happens. You see, you get white line fever, and instead of drawing and passing, he decided to do the Maori sidestep and go run straight through the defence, and of course now the ball has been turned over.
We've got split backs here from Moorabbin. 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Going to be interesting to see which way they go. Oh, Melbourne, early drive there, early drive. What are we going to do? No, we're going to reset. Horton just sorting out these front rows.
A little bit of dominance in that front row by Melbourne, particularly on the tight head side. That's twice I've noticed the scrum turn, and I don't think they're trying to wheel the ball. It's just intense pressure.
So Johnny Hunt looking for a clean heel from Andrew Barber here. Oh, scrum, that's a bit better. Hunt goes blind. Trudeau. And it's straight out. Oh, easy, lads, easy. Good tackle from Luisi there. Pienaar was caught a little bit flat-footed when Trudeau went this narrow side. And I think Pienaar's actually carrying a little bit of an injury actually from earlier in the game, hence why he was a little bit flat-footed. So hopefully Armand Pienaar won't go off early today. They've already lost Tupeloto, the Rebels player, to injury, and he's missing. And it's Melbourne finally get the ball back. McGregor. Out to Vai. Will he find Hutchison? Yes, he does. There's Fatau again. He's been everywhere this first half. Melbourne keep going on that short side. They are within a couple of metres of that line. Pick and drive again. That's well defended by Moorabbin. Another pick and drive. Can Moorabbin hold this up? They're over the line. Knocked down though. Rolling again. They are literally on the Moorabbin line here as the backs get to spin the ball. This is 3 on none. Will the ball get there? This is Tui. Tui beats one, beats two. He's just short. He finds Vai. Vai knocks forward at the line. Oh, that was a golden opportunity for Melbourne to score there. The 3 on none at one stage, but the ball wouldn't sit up off the long pass.
A pretty important period now, just leading up to half-time. The Rams would not want to give away any points if they can help it and turn around with a sizable deficit. So they'll be looking here to master this Melbourne scrum. I think it's the Rams ball.
Yeah, it is Rams ball.
So I saw Melbourne will go for an 8-man push as referee Horton is going to...
No, I think Pinar's injured behind play. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure he's going to struggle to carry on because he got a knock earlier, and then just as we said previously, when the ball was in play, he got caught flat-footed and he couldn't get off the mark. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be the end of his afternoon. I'm pretty sure he's going off. So I'm not too sure who will come on for Moorabbin in place. So, like I said, they've already lost the Rebels player, Tupaluto, last week to injury, so he's not playing again, and they've had to bring in Andrew Robillard to fill in that centre spot. So to lose another centre of quality like Pinar may see that depth eroded.
So stand by here. I sense an 8-man tank push by Melbourne. They employed that very effectively last week and have a very, very good set piece.
So we're just waiting for the substitution to be made. I think this might be Sean Weaponer coming on. There's Armand Pinar, the Namibian. Got a try last week. He's gone off with an ankle injury and he's struggling. So
the Rams are going to miss him. Takes to the ball, line to the ball well.
I think Weaponer's going to go onto the wing. They're going to push Chang possibly into the centre, or it might be Baliasuva. Hutt feeds. Melbourne, good drive, but the ball is come out. This is Trudeau. Trudeau, that's a fantastic kick, but Tui's in the right place. Nairavu. Let's look at the wheels on this fella. He absolutely motors. Finds a Moorabbin brick wall there right in the centre of the ground. Vai in, clears out very well. This is Matiasi. Matiasi still going. Luisi takes on one. Good tackle. This is Fatau. And they're going to call that knock-on by Fatau there.
I sense that the Rams' best option at the moment looks like taking the ball up through the forwards. They're not making any progress in the backs, and they've got to try and slow it down to stop Melbourne getting possession. With, as I said earlier, their D-line is very, very flat. They're not rushing up to make their tackles. This is giving Melbourne a lot of space to work with. The further you are back from a breakdown or set play, the more vision you have to decide what you're going to do with the ball. And Melbourne are doing that quite effectively with their long cut-out passes.
Big scrummy at Melbourne. Have dominated up front so far, but Moorabbin seem to get the ball back. Hold strong that time. Trudeau. That's a good kick. He's got it to 10 metres outside the 22. So Melbourne attacking line out here. They're going to go shortened line again. Only 5 men in, which seems to be their want at the minute. I'm going for Sacknoa at the front of the line.
Could be a move on here.
Got a couple of forwards at first receiver as well. That is Georgie Noah at the back. That's inside from McFarlane, but that is intercepted by Johnny Hunt. Moorabbin get the ball back. Which way are they going to go? They've gone wide. Players very, very isolated out there. There is not many Moorabbin players supporting. They will do very well to get this ball back. They're slowly getting there, and that ball is not coming out. So it's going to be a Melbourne throw to this scrum. So Moorabbin went open, but there was no support out there at all. They were very isolated on that left wing. Daliasuva found himself by himself, but with only one man in support, and they just couldn't get the ball back. They got there eventually, the Moorabbin forwards, but far too slow.
Yeah, this physical game they had last week against Melbourne Uni might be starting to show, even at this early stage, as we rock into half-time. But they've got to get to the breakdown much quicker. Melbourne are recycling the ball quite nicely when they do turn it over, and now earn a penalty.
Oh. Free kick, yes. Not too sure. They weren't going down in time, the Moorabbin front row, so it's going to be a free kick. So they can kick it to touch if they like, but they will go for another reset scrum. Only a couple of minutes to go in this first half. It is the Rugby Victoria Dewar Shield match of the round, brought to you by Huddle. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. You're listening to Kieran Beefy Blake and Stan Giles, a man many of you will know. Our broadcast sponsors: La Trobe University, Aquamarine, Conferences and Events, Vic Health, BLK, Optimus Health Group, Gilbert, Sports Recording Services, the Victorian State Government, and of course the 365 Days of Sport radio show. This is McFarlane, shows and goes. Naravu coming in off his wing, held up very well in the centre of the park on the 22. Collected by Noah. Sack Noah finds Austin. Gone blind. McFarlane goes once, goes twice. Great tackle there. Melbourne looking for a move. That's Luisi. He's been caught inside. He's dropped the ball. Jumped on by Barry Trudeau. Moorabbin recycle again. They're getting out of jail time and time again. It's a kick, but it's not going to find touch. This is Vai. Naravu steps back inside, straightens up, looks for his support. There is only one man from Melbourne in support so far. Moorabbin pile through. Have they turned this over? I think they have. They do that very, very well when Melbourne players get isolated. And Moorabbin look to move it. This is Entwistle.
That's a better clean out by Moorabbin.
This is Entwistle again. Barber's held up. Moorabbin again. He's gone to ground. Hunt looks straight behind. It's going to be a kick. Oh, it's an up and under. The defensive bomb. Love it. That's been knocked forward by Trudeau. But this is turnover. This is Henry Hutchison, who has broken one. He's going clear. Will he get to the try line? Yes, he will. The Rebels player saw the slightest opportunity as Barry Trudeau knocked that ball forward. Henry Hutchison picked the ball up, and he's gone 45 metres, basically untouched. He beat the first tackle, and then he was gone. Well, that's an unfortunate turnaround for Moorabbin. Right on the stroke of half-time. Hutchison showing his absolute class there. I mean, he's a Rebels member for a reason, but he's taken full opportunity of, the kick. The bad kick.
Yeah, it was a bad. It was,
Put him in the hole.
It was an up and under tap back to Hutchison, and just pure speed. Remember that Hutchison played for the Australian Sevener side on the world circuit. I think for 2 or 3 years. So he's had plenty of experience there, and as a matter of fact, he actually went to St Kevin's College here in Melbourne for 2 years before he went up north. So it's another player that's got away from Victorian rugby. But Hutchison scored 3 tries 2 weeks ago in that romp over Box Hill. And obviously a player that Melbourne have been trying to exploit and get the ball to, and on that occasion he had far too much speed as a conversion.
McGregor, that's a great effort from the touchline to try and convert, and that has just dropped right in front of the crossbar. So, coming up to half-time, Moorabbin 10, Melbourne 24. That try from Hutchinson brings up the bonus point for Melbourne as well in the first half. So that's another thing achieved. I think they've collected maximum points in every game so far this season. So that's yet again, if they win this, they will get maximum points again. So restart right on the dying embers of this first half. That is George Noah's taken up the ball, but in the tackle has popped it forward. So this will be an attacking scrum to Moorabbin. Their last chance to make another dent in this Melbourne score. 14 points behind, it's not all lost. As we saw last week, half-time score was 19-10 actually before Melbourne scored on the stroke of half-time, full enough to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, but I think Moorabbin certainly have got to be the next team to score if they want to have a chance to get on top here. 14 points, 2 converted tries. They've only looked like it on a couple of occasions from broken play and that charge down restart. But their backs just don't seem to be making the breaks. And now that Pinar's gone off injured, they're just not penetrating through that avenue.
Oh, great drive from Moorabbin. That's the first time we've seen any kind of advantage from the Moorabbin scrum. As Hutchinson in again, tackle well held up. Got to ground now. Noah. Luisi's got the ball, and that is judged to be forward. Good attempted tackle by Dane Chang there, and he may have just possibly hurt himself tackling there. That was a great drive from Moorabbin. That's the first time they've had any ascendancy in a scrum. So perhaps they're getting better as they ease into this game, but we are right in the last minute of the first half.
Got to keep this momentum going, that's for sure. One scrum doesn't make a game. Let's see how they go now. They're in a great attacking position. They've got their backs lined out, they're poised. Let's see if they run onto the ball, whether it's just a straight catch and pass.
Chang's come off his wing here to be inside the inside of the scrum and the fly half.
Really push,
and not pushing, so it's going to be a quick tap.
There's Melbourne pushing early there in that scrum to try and get the ascendancy. Didn't pay off, and they've called another scrum.
Another scrum, yep. That's how confident they're feeling, Stan, after that last scrum. They're calling for another scrum instead of a tap and go. Don't see the tap and go much often. I don't know why. The old flying wedge. So Johnny Hunt going to feed here. Well, basically got one opportunity.
There's very little space on the short side, on the blind side. So let's see how the scrum goes.
Oh, gone blind. Great pickup there from Valaloa. Moorabbin forwards to get there in numbers. That's good. Very good. Hunt. Barber. Recycle the ball. Very good. Robbie Yard came back to the support of his forwards, and that is the Melbourne player not rolling away, holding on. It's going to be a penalty, or could even be. Well, we're going. Oh, there was obviously 2 fouls there, offside and holding on. So it's going to be a penalty closer to the touchline, right on the 15-metre and 22-metre tangent. So, attacking line-out. We haven't seen Moorabbin too often up in the Melbourne 22.
And of course, under the new laws, if there are 2 penalties in the same period of play, the captain of the side can determine which penalty he would like to take it from.
So Howson wins the ball. This is very flat to Robbie Yard. Robbie Yard charges up the guts. This is a big fella via lower. Good driving from Moorabbin, well held by Melbourne. Entwistle. Still going, Entwistle. Ball's popped out. Who's going to jump on that? Johnny Hunt does. That ball's going to get held in as a Melbourne player with his hands all over it there. Not sure what they're going to do.
Going forward.
And that is half-time here at Henry Caterson Reserve. Moorabbin Rams 10, Melbourne Unicorns 24. Unicorns 24. We see those as well. So that's what we're waiting for. We're just waiting for the officials to confirm those substitutions.
Oh, it's only Melbourne. Do you want me to get Anna?
Yeah.
Here we go, Moorabbin to kick off. This is Barry Trudeau gone long. That is Fred Austin carrying forward. George Noah. Great yardage.
So we've got number 18
Oh, great break here by Noah as he goes through that gap that was opening. He's palmed it off. Great support play here.
Fisher Naylor supporting very, very well there. This is the other Noah this time. And there's George Noah. They're all over the place. Vai. Okay. So that's a penalty.
And once again, the Rams not getting off their line. They're waiting for the Melbourne attack to come towards them. They're not moving up, and this is telling dearly on territory as Melbourne kick for the line out. And I sense this could well be, Beefy, another rolling maul.
Yes.
The first one they did, the first one for 2 games, was very, very effective. Let's see what happens.
So it's a throw. Patrick Fisher Naylor going to be looking for possibly sack. No, going to the back of the line. This is the substitute Toyoga, and that is deemed not to be straight.
And the other offence there was the line-out thrower cannot balk. He can't dummy, move forward with the ball, bring it back, and then throw it again. To throw the ball in the line-out under the laws, you must throw it in directly and straight away. And as Beefy said, he probably did that, but it may not have been straight. We couldn't see from our position here.
So there is a change, I think at loose head prop actually, as Kurt McKenzie's gone off and Zach Toigo. It's a name I haven't seen so far, so it could be making his first appearance for the first team this year. He's gone into the loose head slot.
Great attacking position here for Melbourne. Options on both sides. The blind side is looking pretty skinny. We'll just see what they plan.
It's an interesting defensive setup from Melbourne at this stage as well, because Vai is defending at first receiver, and Zach Noah is sitting at number 8 instead of Fatau as well. So Melbourne changing things up. A little bit of an early drive there from Moorabbin. So that change in scrum formation may not be doing Melbourne any good.
No.
So Luisi is in off his wing as well. Naravu is straight on his orthodox right wing. TC Rua is into the fray as well. I believe that Jack McGregor may well have gone off at half time as well. So that leaves Sam Vai at fly half. And Tea Arua, as Moorabbin get the ball. They're going to defensively run this out. This is interesting. Baliasuva with the ball. Tackled. Johnny Hunt looking around. May well try and kick this long. He has. Not a very good chase from Moorabbin though. That leaves Henry Hutchison. Already scored from distance. Now that's a penalty. Not clearing out. There's a very quick penalty taken by Fagasoya there as well.
Not taken from the mark, so it's a replay.
So they get to go again. They'll probably kick this in the corner. Vai gets the ball. So I'm not quite sure what's happened to Jack McGregor. Obviously the Rebels play it.
It may well be that the Rebels are under instructions only to play him for half a game, just to keep his basic fitness up. With Debrasini perhaps not under consideration, only Reece Hodge, Maddox perhaps as a standby in that position, the Rebels I think may well be protecting their options there with McGregor.
Well, Taylor Adams, obviously the Moorabbin player, played the last 10 minutes last night for the Rebels in place of Reece Hodge, so there are a few fly-off options. So Melbourne have picked the ball up, but that ball has gone forward and there's a bit of interference there from Moorabbin, and referee Horton isn't happy at all with what was going on at that line out. So it's going to be a penalty. So going to be interesting to see what Melbourne do here. Will they kick for goal or no? They're going to kick for the sideline. Attacking line out 5 metres out. Yeah, Maddox played on the wing last night, didn't he, for the Rebels?
Very good. 2 tries. 2 lovely tries.
That ball is definitely not straight. Georgie Noah did his best. He was up in the air, but the ball was way off. So Moorabbin, could they get out of jail here?
They must get out of jail. They're also looking into the sun there, so pretty dangerous position for the Rams at the moment.
So they tried to run it out last time from this kind of defensive area. Will they try and do it again?
Well, we've seen if they kick the ball to the opposition, Melbourne have got far too many wheels in their back three.
Melbourne are up very flat as well. Not looking for a kick either, I think. I think they're looking for rush defence here, but that's a great drive from the Rams. Trudeau takes it up, the ball's popped out. Set up again, that's gone deep. Oh, it's been half blocked there by Melbourne. This is not Avu.
They're all onside.
Hutchison, that's a great tackle there from the substitute weaponer. Vai has kicked that through. Little grubber. Will Luisi, and the ball's popped up. And it's popped up, turned square. And Luisi could not believe his luck. George Noah got the ball, dived over. That is his second try of the day. George Noah, he's a try machine from the back row. And that makes the score 29-10.
Well, he had to be in position there to follow through that kick. And that's rugby. The ball bounced, stood on its end, bounced straight up in the air. Moorabbin defence was flat-footed there on the outer side of the wing. And Noah said, thank you very much. He only had 3 or 4 metres to make. And with his weight, size and physical presence, that was always going to be a try.
So Sam Vai is going to attempt the kick after McGregor going off at half-time. Who's off? Oh, Will. Okay. So Vai, that's a great kick, and it's gone just over the top of the upright, but that is not deemed to be inside, as Melbourne make another change. Wilden Ollie has come off, and that sees Aaron Kelly into the fray. Not sure whether Aaron is going to play at 8 or on the flank. Long way to go in this game. Still 35 minutes to go. Enough time for Moorabbin to get back into it, but they have to be the next scorer. So Trudeau has gone long, and the ball is bounced forward, possibly off the Melbourne player. And yes, Horton calls that knock on. That was a great attack of the ball by Dane Chang there. Put the Melbourne player under pressure.
Yeah, it was a good restart. There was hang time there. Allowed those 2 Moorabbin players to attack the ball in the air. A very good restart by the Rams. A little bit of inconsistency in their game, Beefy.
Yeah, no, it's very much so. It's they haven't settled into a rhythm at all today. And in terms of their angles of attack and how they've approached this game, it's don't really seem to have a defined game plan, unfortunately. But this one, Melbourne pushing early, Moorabbin not ready, so Moorabbin are going to do something with this free kick. Probably another scrum instead of the old tap and go. I'd like to see them actually keep it in the forwards and actually try and attempt something off these free kicks.
It seems to be their strength at the moment.
Yeah.
When they're taking the ball up through the forwards, the rare occasions they've pick and driven the ball, they're making some good headway. I still worry about their scrummaging. This ball's got to go in quickly and be quickly healed, because Melbourne, their scrum is very tight and has a very good shape.
Like you say, Stan, I'm just looking at the Moorabbin backs, and they are looking straight into the sun as well, so it's a little bit different. That's a great drive from Moorabbin, though. Absolute cracking drive. And, oh my word, it's via lower. Picked the ball up at the back of the scrum and was gone, but Horton called back for Melbourne being wheeled at the scrum. I think should have played an advantage there, really.
Yeah, there was advantage gone wasting. That's twice referee Horton has had her arm extended for a penalty, and the Rams in an attacking position, ball in hand, and the line in sight have been called back for the resulting penalty.
This is quite amazing as well, Stan. They've got an attacking penalty, and they've gone for a scrum. Instead of even kicking a touch to get a line out, they've just gone for the scrum instead. So Moorabbin, obviously after that dominance of that first scrum, perhaps they think they can do it again. We saw this, unbelievably, Moorabbin not setting correctly, and Horton's gone against them. So they've turned an attacking penalty and they've given the ball away, turn it over, and Melbourne will get a chance to clear their ground.
Yeah. Front row hinging there, going down below their knees, that front row. You can't hinge. You've got to keep your body weight above your hips, and that didn't occur on that occasion.
So Melbourne going to the bench again.
Well, Beefy, they seem to be giving everybody a bit of a run. Great take again in the line out.
Beautiful. That is Patrick Fisher-Naylor's last action as Tim Orchard comes into the fray. Melbourne attacking again, keeping it in the forwards. Good clear out this time. Fagasoya. And he recovered the ball, did George Noah, sack Noah this time, number 4. George in support this time round. This is Fagasoya, Vai, Hutchison, Brewer. Recycle well, they go narrow. No, changed his mind. They're going to find the forwards. This is Matiasi. Matiasi still on his feet, still rumbling. Good support there from Melbourne's forwards. The ball, will it pop out? Fagasoya. Gone long. This is George Sacknoa. Sacknoa dives, and he's in. Sakaria Noah, the Melbourne captain, scores Melbourne Unicorns' 6th try of the afternoon.
We don't want to see the floodgates open here, but once again Hutchison running through, found space out wide near the wing as you saw, turned the ball nicely back inside to the Melbourne fullback. They recycled quickly and caught the Moorabbin defence at 6s and 7s. That's quite ominous now, as the Rams should be calling to their bench, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's got to that stage, but quite a few injuries, so I'm not sure about their strength in depth at this stage. And if Melbourne, like you say, they have gone to the benches. They've made 5 changes already. So Sam Vai steps up, and he's kicked this one. Still a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, we've only been playing 14 minutes, and Melbourne now increasing their lead substantially. Their reset's good. They know where they're standing for the restart, and I hope the Rams this time will get some nice hang time to allow their second rowers 4 and 5 to actually get the ball.
Oh,
And
it's a bit of a shanked kick, but Chang's up there. Chang's hurt himself with that tackle. Got himself an elbow to the face. As Melbourne look to go blind. This is a great run from Fagasoy. Fagasoy still going. Looking for support. The big fella McKenzie's come back onto the field. And he dropped the ball just as he was charging.
Very good run there by the scrum half. He darted around, saw the gap, and boy did he put the wheels on.
Moorabbin now making some changes. Centre, another centre change. This is Andrew Robiliard is going off, and it's Chris Duffy into the play. Not quite sure. I don't think Chris really knows where he's going to be lining up as well. But
they're having a discussion trying to work it out, Beefy.
But there is another injury. That's Robiliard going off. So another centre injury. That's a plethora of injuries to the centres from Moorabbin. So scrum down right on the 22. Defensive scrum for Moorabbin.
Shadow starting to lengthen here. Lovely day, beautiful day for rugby, no excuses, very little wind.
So fantastic crowd here as well at Harold KSN Reserve. It's a fantastic tackle. It looked a little bit high from Vai on via lower, but the ball has popped loose, and this is Sacknoa again. Sacknoa, this time the ball has been intercepted by McFarlane. Moorabbin very keen to recycle this ball. And that is cleared by Trudeau. Finds the trees just inside the 22. So Melbourne will get the throw.
Yeah, I think the Rams have got to start trying to work their way downfield with some strategic kicking. Running the ball from their inside their own 22 is not working. Also, with their injuries in the centres, they're going to have to play the ball closer to the scrum and set play and hope that Melbourne leaves some gaps. Another great line-out win there.
Melbourne get this ball. This is Noah. Noah charging. Beats one. Hold down. The ball's popped out the back. Vai-Vai's gone long, and the ball has just sailed out of the hands of Tui over the sideline as Melbourne make yet another change. I was just going to say, Stan, before we got there, what a tackle by a Semi Vai on the big number 8 via lower. I thought it was a little bit high, but no complaints from anyone. It was just hard.
No, he hit him hard, drove with his feet as he made the tackle. The impact just drove him back beautifully. But there again, in that phase of play, Beefy, Melbourne missed another opportunity. He went for the big cutout pass to the winger, throwing the ball directly into touch. And
Melbourne make another change. Henry Hutchison this time has gone off, holding his wrist actually. Vasily Lyota is coming on into the centre, but possibly may line up a fullback with a bit of a change. But we shall see as Moorabbin desperately try and recycle this ball. It's very, very broken in the forwards at the minute. This is Johnny Hunt. Trudeau beats one, College by a second. Moorabbin forwards do get there though. They're very flat on this near side. Barber, short pass. If they go wide here, they've got men over. And they're all forwards out there for Melbourne, but that is intercepted. The pass was a long looping one, and the quickest man in Victorian rugby, Matiasi Naravu, pounces on the ball gleefully, and he's straight in under the posts. That is unfortunate. I did say about spinning it wide, but I didn't expect a big loopy pass like that.
No, the Rams are hanging their heads now, because in that period of play leading up to that, they were starting to make some progress. You may recall I did comment that running the ball from inside their own 22
Yes.
is not working, and they should be working it up through the forwards, which they did. However, they weren't patient. They weren't patient
No.
with the ball. And when you're defending, you've got to be patient, or else you'll turn it over. And that's exactly what happened. Is that to conversion?
No, is it?
Converted, but it went to the in centre, and it threw a huge looping pass, as you saw it, hung in the air with the wind.
Yeah.
What wind there is.
What win there is. But yes, Nairavu just pounced on it, saw his opportunity, and he was straight in.
That's a much better.
That's a great kick. So that's Fred Austin secures that. Fagasoya. Luisi has beaten one. He's come inside. Oh, he's kept going. Luisi, this could be a hell of a try. Oh, Luisi's beaten everyone. William Luisi, straight off the kickoff from 65 metres out, has gone all the way. What a try that was. Absolute solo effort, and how quick is he? Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Melbourne now taking their opportunities. There's plenty of space available. Moorabbin are tiring. Their forwards are walking to the breakdown, and plenty of gaps there, and that was seized upon, and the winger, he just took off. Should have been tackled. There's 2 missed tackles. Also, he had support inside, didn't need it. Instead of diving in the corner, just ambled around to within 12 metres or so of the post.
Yeah, there's no substitute for pace in this game, and William Luisi absolutely fantastic from distance. And as we said earlier about the coach for Moorabbin was very, very nervous about Melbourne's back three and their pace, and absolutely unbelievable. They've nearly all scored. They've all scored opportunist tries, but they've all scored tries at pace.
At pace, yeah. This is the difference.
So, Vai has missed that conversion. So that leaves the score. Moorabbin 10, Melbourne 48. And this restart has not gone 10 metres. And we may go for a line-out, we may go for a scrum, we're not too sure.
The ball didn't go 10. I think they're just checking Beefy to see if it's been touched by a player, by a Melbourne player, and if it has, the line-out will be formed.
No, we're going to go for a scrum in the centre of the park, I'm pretty sure. So the ball was not touched by anyone, but referee Horn is asking the question where if we want a line-out or a scrum.
Scrum back, yep.
So this game, the Dewar Shield match of the round, brought to you by Huddle. Oh, it's been close. The teams are evenly matched, but Melbourne have just taken the most of their opportunities, and as Moorabbin have got a bit more time, the floodgates have opened, but yeah, it's never this much of a gap between these two sides.
Melbourne far too well structured today than Moorabbin.
Unfortunately for Moorabbin, there's still a long way to go here, Stan.
Yeah.
We hate to see a cricket score, but
yeah, there's another 30 or so minutes to go. 18 minutes to go.
So Melbourne, very interested to see. They are stacked out on the far side. But we're going to go short. This is Fagasoya looking for Noah inside. Noah's picked the ball up. Again, he's beaten the first tackle. He's beaten the second tackler. Still going. What a player. What a player. This is Sack Noah, the captain this time. Has the ball come out? This is a Vai. Vai, very flat ball to Nairavu. Still out. Tui. Looking for the substitution, Leota. Vai goes himself. Beaten one. Found Bianchi. who's just come on for Hutchison. And it's another penalty, Moorabbin handling the ball in that ruck.
They're getting desperate, Moorabbin now, and not making their falling off their tackles, and they're not reading the game well enough to understand the positional changes they should be making in their defence line.
Melbourne trying to run it from everywhere as well now. They're sensing that Moorabbin are tired and disorientated, really. So Vai kicks for touch. They're about 20 metres out from the Moorabbin line.
And when you're winning by this number of points, Beefy, it gives the attacking side a confidence to experiment with a few things, positional changes, change the running lines, and just get some confidence in their game.
Fagasoya, Vai, very flat ball. This is Rua. Fagasoya. Oh, Fred Ossie, great move by Vai. Vai has sent Lucas Bianchi clear, and has Bianchi got to the line?
I don't think so.
No, I think that little behind the back pass from Vai was forward in the end. So, a bit of razzle-dazzle there from Semi Vai.
Well, that's what happens when you're winning by a good margin. You get just a bit flash. Melbourne have got to try and maintain their structure.
As Martin Copier comes in to the fray. Kurt McKenzie going off.
I'm not sure whether these are injury changes, but they're certainly working the bench. Melbourne have used their bench in the last two games very, very astutely. Their bench last week won the game for them against Quins, and whilst they cleared the bench a little bit earlier today, they're maintaining the attack.
So scrum down, Moorabbin feed. Thanks for joining us wherever you are in the world on the Rugby Victoria Facebook live stream. Dewar Shield Match of the Round brought to you by Huddle. Thank you to all our broadcast partners, La Trobe University, Aquamarine, Conferences and Events, Vic Health, BLK, Optimus Health Group, Gilbert. Without them, we wouldn't play. They've got the balls for us. Sports Recording Services, and of course, the 365 Days of Sport radio show. Quite possibly the greatest sports radio show on the planet. As that scrum kind of disintegrates around the Moorabbin front row, and Horton decides that the Moorabbin front row were at fault, so it's going to be an attacking penalty to Melbourne. More afters again.
Handbags. Nothing serious here. Just a little bit of frustration now creeping into...
Quick tap and go. This is Fagasoya. Finds a long pass. This is Rua. Noah. Show and go. Gets tackled. Fagasoya goes open side this time. This is Martin Copier. First touch. Still going Copier. Picked and gone again. Fred Austin this time. Ball still here. Fagasoya. Vai. That's fed to Lucas Bianchi, who has dived in at the corner. Bianchi touches down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the 9th try of the afternoon. It's quite easy when you're on the back foot, when you're dominant like this, and you can keep facets of play, keep rolling. It's Melbourne showing their authority and their dominance up front.
Well, they're a class act. They're still very well structured. They knew what they were going to do there. Two sets of hands. Moorabbin's defence on the short side found wanting. The winger was unmarked, and a very basic, simple try. I'm just concerned now about the Rams. They don't want to leak too many points because in the Dewar Shield, percentage for and against is pretty important, and it's going to be important for the 3rd, 4th spot. Because there is a little bit of a traffic jam in those two places on the ladder. So they don't want to be leaking too many points, Beefy.
So, Talatala Semai Ataimo is going to take over the kicking duties for Melbourne Unicorns. This one is from right out, close to the touchline. And he's made good contact. That could be close. Oh, just shaved the upright. Didn't quite get there. That keeps the score. Moorabbin Rams 10, Melbourne Unicorns 53. You are tuned in to Rugby Victoria's Match of the Round, Dewar Shield, round number 6. Brought to you by the good people at Huddle, who help us get this show on the road.
And it'd be great if you're watching this, doesn't matter where you are, please support the sponsors because you wouldn't be watching it without them.
So good kick by...
now was he taken out of the air?
I think he probably was, but I think it's play on. Pretty sure that Johnny Hunt caught the catcher, but that ball has been knocked forward in the tackle. That's Sack Noah. Got caught with the tackle, stripped the ball popped out. So Cam Moorabbin, still 10 minutes to go to get a bonus point. Don't forget, they've got a couple of tries. They would like another 2 more just to get some points from this game this afternoon.
We'll just see how this tiring scrum will eventuate.
Can't help feeling that the turning point in this game was when they elected to take a scrum Moorabbin off an attacking penalty, and it got turned over very quickly, got awarded a penalty against, and from there the floodgates are just open. As Moorabbin get the ball. This is Veroy, finds himself in the middle of the park. Duffy, Andrew Barber. Barber still going, being very, very quiet today, Andrew Barber. Trudeau.
Now, if you're watching this, viewers, you can see Melbourne are in their face. Every time they get the ball, Melbourne's in their face. Conversely, it's the opposite way around with the Rams in possession.
Silva makes a break. Ball's coming out. This is McFarland. McFarland has been driven back. Will he get the ball back? Hunt. A few forwards out in the back line here. Held on. Will they set up? Ball has been held in there by Melbourne. Horton. Hunt. Oh, is it going to be a... oh, no, they're marching back 10 again. It's been a bit of back chat there from Melbourne.
Just as Moorabbin were going to do the tap and run with it, Beefy, for the first time. But Horton, they're now considering their options, and they're going to go for the line.
Trudeau's going to kick to touch. There are a few injuries in back place, hence why they had second thoughts about taking the quick tap. So we're about 5 or 6 metres out from the Melbourne line. Moorabbin desperate to get over this Melbourne try line, get themselves closer to a bonus point as the sun sets towards the distance over the city. But it has been a fantastic day for rugby. Great mild winter's day. That ball is loose. Duffy picks it up. Finds Baliasuva. Oh, pick and go. That's McFarland, goes over the top. Ball's recycled. Hunt. Trudeau goes himself. Ball's still here. Hunt again.
Moorabbin need to be patient here.
And whistle.
Fair patient, the points will come.
Just multiple phases, you just need to keep it tight. Get the support play. This is Paternotte. Hunt. Duffy again, that was. And whistle. They are being very, very patient here, Moorabbin. That's good. Drivata. Set it up, nice. That's all right. Paternotte again. Horton has got the arm out. There's going to be a penalty coming if Moorabbin can't do something with this. Hunt goes himself. So that ball has come out the back, and that it's a pick and drive from Whistle again. Oh, that is a delayed score. Horton decides that Moorabbin did get the ball over the line.
I'm not sure who got that.
Not sure, I'm just looking now. So Moorabbin get their third try of the afternoon. One try closer to this elusive bonus point. The game is gone, but they may still be able to get another solitary point out of the game.
And at last, the Rams played some pick and drive. They kept it in the forwards. They didn't rush anything. Melbourne were up to it in defence. Melbourne were off the line quickly, stifled Moorabbin's progress to the line, and just on that last occasion, managed to squeeze over.
Yeah, they were absolutely prepared to just take their time, secure good ball. Every time, the one good thing was every time they picked and drove, the ball came back clean. Hunt was there, and Entwistle went over the captain to score. Copped an absolute whack for his troubles. We've got a couple of minutes to go. We're thinking that Moorabbins will try and get this bonus point. As Fred Austin leaves the field. What a game he's had today, been absolutely unbelievable. Patrick Fisher-Nail has come back on. So, Moorabbin 15, Melbourne 53. Yes, you heard that right. That's Duffy. Duffy takes this restart, beats his tackler. Moorabbin set up. Spin it wide. McFarlane. Set it up again. They're getting good ball this time, Stan.
They're getting some.
All of a sudden, they're recycling very well. Paranot, who's been very, very active these last 10 minutes. This is Barber. Barber goes himself. Flat pass. This is Baliasuva. Hunt. Duffy. Duffy has been absolutely rammed into the ground with what a tackle that was. Oh, Barber, get the ball again. All of a sudden we've seen more of Andrew Barber, and somebody's gone headhunting there, gone very, very high.
Now Melbourne, they've just got to maintain their momentum. They're just getting a little bit lackadaisical with their tackles, and giving Moorabbin a bit of a sniff with just 4 minutes to go in this match, and that kick.
Yeah, bad kick, and
It's painful, that kick.
Lucas Bianchi has worked miracles to keep that in, and he's got himself.
Aussie, I've got you! Aussie, I've got you!
And that kick ahead has been fumbled into touch by Chang.
Rams not getting the bounce of the ball. That's twice the ball's fallen cruelly for them.
Yeah. But missing touch from the penalty, that's a no-no.
Exactly.
And they paid the price there as Lucas Bianchi
Well, he did
charged for it.
He soccer kicked it back into play. And of course, that final between Real Madrid and Liverpool, 2 a.m. in the morning for the big European Cup.
Vai sees a gap in behind the defence. That is Chang is going to chase back. Chang gets there. Chang's going to go himself. Can he get the length of the field? No is the answer.
Yeah, I think that
He didn't take it over. It is a 22, so it's Moorabbin still get the ball. Hunt looks to go quickly, and Hunt has kicked directly to Bianchi. He was looking for Drivata. Ball is held up. Melbourne get the ball back though. Fisher-Naylor this time. Fagasoya. Vai. Great pass. This is Tui. Tui's got himself. He's put through the big fella. Tim Orchard. Orchard has gone over from 15 metres out. Melbourne. Too quick, too strong, too big.
Yeah, once again, they worked the ball along the length of their back line, but you were quite right, Kieran. That penalty kick for touch didn't find touch, and from there, Melbourne have worked their way downfield quite easily, really. And that try was just a simple catch and pass, draw your man, wait for the gap, and outflanked on the far side. A very, very easy try, basically. It was a sort of a training try.
Yeah.
Try you do it training.
Yep, that's exactly right. Well, that's the last 20 minutes has turned into a bit of a training run for Melbourne, to be completely honest, and they've running it from all points of the field. So Fagasoya attempts to convert this try. Tenth try of the afternoon. Fagasoya makes good contact. And what a kick from that is from the touchline.
Fantastic kick.
That is only the 5th conversion of the day out of their 10 tries as well. So,
well, Beefy, we're now into injury time, to time on, and I think some of these Moorabbin forwards will be very, very glad when the final whistle goes.
Go get a shot on him, bro.
So 60-15, Melbourne lead. Fisher-Naylor picks that up, charges in. Vai goes himself. Ball's popped out on the far side. Horton's missed that. She's blindsided. Not seen that. Fagasoya. Vai. That's a great kick. There's nobody back there for Moorabbin. And that's taken a Melbourne bounce and gone out over the touchline. And that is the last action of the day. Right on 80 minutes. Moorabbin 50.